All right, today's objective, students will be able to find the area and circumference of circles. So circumference, just a refresher, I think, for most of you. If not, definition on the screen there. It's the distance around a circle. So it's just a fancy word for perimeter, just like we've been doing with all our other shapes. We've got two formulas, maybe three if you want to think of it that way, because there's two different ways you can represent circumference. So to start, circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius, which could also be viewed as pi times diameter. So r for radius, d for diameter. And then area is equal to pi times radius squared. Also looking at some review, I believe, just remembering that the relationship between the radius and the diameter is that the radius is half the length of the diameter. So that's why our circumference formula can be viewed as 2 pi r or pi times d, because 2 times the radius is the same thing as the diameter. So 2r and d, same thing, and then pi is the same as pi. So either formula works, just depends on what information you're given in your problem. So let's look at some examples. So in number 1, you are asked to find the circumference and area of each circle. So looking at number 1, we're given the radius of 7. So let's start with our circumference. So the circumference is equal to, since we're given radius, we'll use the radius formula. So 2 times pi times that radius. And we're asked for the exact answer, and in parentheses it says in terms of pi. So that means we just don't multiply pi out. So it's actually less work for you. You don't even need a calculator. So our circumference exactly is 14 pi feet. Then your rounded answer to the nearest tenth, you would plug that into the calculator. 14 times pi. I'd prefer you to use the pi button on the calculator. Otherwise, you're using 3.14. It's just not quite as precise. But if you use that pi button, it should come out to about 44 feet for your circumference. So 2 answers representing the same distance. And then for our area, that's equal to pi times radius squared. So pi times r squared. Our exact answer will be 49 pi. And remember, our units are always squared for area. And then our rounded answer, plug that into the calculator, 153.9 feet squared. So we're always looking in those first few problems for exact and rounded. For number 2, just notice you're given the diameter instead of the radius. So you'll need to do a little extra work there in order to find the radius when it comes to calculating the area. So skipping down to the next section, just going over one more type of problem. 5 through 8, you're either given circumference or area, and you're working backwards to find the radius. Still looking for exact answer and a rounded answer. So to start, plug into your formula. Since we're trying to find the radius, we're going to use the formula that involves the radius. So since we have circumference, that formula would be 2 pi r. So 18 equals 2 pi r. We're going to divide by everything that's not the radius. So divide by 2 pi. Divide by 2 pi, that cancels out. On the left side, our pi, we're going to keep in the answer for our exact. So just look at the 18 over 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9 over pi. And we're talking about radius, so our units are not squared. So 9 over pi centimeters. That's our exact answer. Plug that into your calculator, 9 divided by pi. As your rounded answer, you'd get 2.9 centimeters. And then for our area, same idea. We're given the area. We're working backwards. This time, though, our formula is pi r squared. So to start finding our exact answer, divide by the pi. We're keeping pi in there, so not even going to the calculator yet. So 314 over pi equals r squared. To get r alone, square root. That cancels out our exponent. So our exact answer, square root of 314 divided by pi, and our units are feet. Now you can plug that into the calculator, and it comes out to about 10 feet. So final answers. So homework for today was already posted, but just a refresher, worksheet number 6. Email me or Miss Matos with questions, and I will get answer key posted in a few minutes as well on Google Classroom.